Most people think that money is their biggest problem. The wealthy think that time is. Everyone gets the same 24 hours in a day. But not everyone treats time the same way. This is one of the biggest differences between people who struggle financially and people who quietly build wealth. Today, we're going to talk about how the wealthy view time completely differently and how that single shift in thinking changes everything. Because once you understand this, you start to see why some people move forward while others stay stuck. Most people spend time reacting. They respond to messages. They deal with problems as they appear. They stay busy. They fill their calendar. They answer every email. They say yes to every request. And at the end of the day, they wonder why nothing important got done. The wealthy don't live this way. They decide ahead of time what deserves their attention. They block time for what builds. They ignore almost everything else. This isn't about being cold or unavailable. It's about understanding that most things demanding your time right now won't matter in 6 months. So they ask a simple question. Will this move me forward or just keep me busy? If it's not moving them forward, they don't do it. They also think long-term, very long-term. Instead of asking, how much will this pay me this week? They ask, what will this be worth in 5 years? They are willing to wait. They understand that most meaningful results come slowly. This patience is rare. Most people need to see results immediately. If something doesn't pay off in weeks or months, they quit. They move on to the next thing. But the wealthy know that anything worth having takes years to build. Relationships, investments, skills, businesses. They don't expect instant returns. They expect compound returns. And that changes everything about how they spend their time today. They're not looking for shortcuts. They're building foundations. Slowly, carefully, without needing anyone to notice. The wealthy also avoid trading time for money whenever possible. They build systems. They invest in skills. They create things that keep working even when they are not. Time is their most valuable asset. They don't waste it proving themselves. They don't waste it chasing approval. This is what most people miss. If you trade hours for dollars, you'll always hit a ceiling. Because there are only so many hours in a day. The wealthy learn this early on, so they build systems that scale. They hire people, they automate processes, and they invest in assets that generate income without their direct involvement. This doesn't happen overnight. It takes years to build. But once it's built, their time becomes theirs again. And that freedom is what wealth actually is. Not having more money, but having more time. Most people don't waste time on purpose. They lose it slowly. A little here, a little there, to distractions, to urgency, to things that feel important but don't actually move life forward. Days feel full, but years pass without much changing. The wealthy are very aware of this. They pay attention to where their time leaks. They say no more often. They protect long stretches of quiet focus. They don't fill every moment. They leave space. Because space is where thinking happens. Time shapes identity. Over time, something else happens. How you spend your time starts to shape who you become. Small habits compound. Daily choices add up. The wealthy think about this constantly. They ask, who does this version of me turn into over 10 years? Not just, what do I get today? The wealthy don't rush identity. They don't force outcomes. They let time work in their favor. Because they're not trying to impress anyone, they're trying to build something that lasts. They also understand something uncomfortable. Being busy feels productive, but it often isn't. True progress usually looks boring, slow, unimpressive from the outside, and that's why most people avoid it. Think about that for a moment. Every morning, you wake up with less time than you had yesterday. You can't save it, you can't borrow it, you can't get it back. So the question becomes, are you spending it on things that matter? Or are you giving it away to whatever feels loudest in the moment? The wealthy treat time like it's sacred because it is. They say no constantly, not because they're selfish, but because they know that every yes to something unimportant is a no to something that actually matters. Most people chase money because they think it will give them freedom. The wealthy chase clarity. They decide where their time goes first and let everything else follow, quietly, over time. Wealth is not built by rushing, it's built by choosing where time goes. quietly, intentionally, every single day. Time will pass either way. The only question is what you'll have built with it. The wealthy understand this, and it shows in every decision they make.